Yo, what's going on to all my sports peeps out there? It's your favorite sports podcast. But if you don't know the name, let me put you on game. It's the Zone Sports Podcast.
Pew,
You know
pew,
what I mean?
pew.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want half of your host, your boy Big V. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with the other half of the host. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let my guy introduce himself. What's good, my G?
Yo, what's up, Big Vito? It's your boy COOL. Always wondering what the hell is your boy
Mhm.
Corey, never telling the same old tired story. Your boy Cool C never dated a floozy. For those out there in YouTube land, got the sign out for you out back. Big Vito, let them know what's going on and who we sponsored by. Big Vito, the people want to know.
Man, look, man. Let me let the people know who we sponsored by. We sponsored by my brand, Skyzone.Society. So make sure you shopping at Skyzone.Society.BigCartel.com. I'm reporting live from the Skyzone.Society headquarters today. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Downtown Greensboro, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hit us up on Instagram at Skyzone.Society. You dig? Corey, what's good with you? You know what I'm saying? We was talking off air. I know the baby girl just turned 1.
Yeah.
How was you feeling on her birthday, man? Like, did you do some reflecting?
Yeah, it's definitely reflective. And you get close, to tearing up and all that stuff, because just the what my wife and I had to go through. We had, it's no secret that we had to go through IVF and all that stuff multiple times to get little mama here. So you talking about all that, and then it's like the year. It's like you remember it, but then you don't remember everything about it because it's a big old blur. And then seeing her kick her feet up at Red Robin's almost on my chicken sandwich was like, yo, we came a long way, yo. Like we came along. It's a beautiful thing. You a parent, all the parents out there knows, and all the aunties and uncles and who also help out us parents, y'all know too, man. It's a beautiful thing, though. Wouldn't trade it for a darn thing, Big Vito.
Definitely. I already know. I know the feeling. I got 3 of my own, so I definitely can relate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely can relate. Salute to Corey on her first birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like we're not about to be doing some saluting. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's time for the What the Hell segment. Corey, let the people know who was brought to us by, though.
It is brought to you by me, solo. I'm talking about Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, Cisco, Unleash the Dragon debut album. Okay, it is brought to you by everybody. Method Man, Sakal, solo album. ODB, Return of the 36 Chambers, solo. It's brought to you by me, solo. However, just like RZA executive produced, Big Vito. This is Big Vito's idea. Like, maybe I'll just do a segment of you just letting people have it. And not only is it co-sponsored or envisioned by Big Vito, executed by me, but it is brought to you by my favorite 1-year-old in the planet. No, her name is Corey as well, Big V. And Big V, man, I was debating whether to go this round. And I was going to kind of push it off to the side. This is the 3rd week in a row I done explain about the what the hell is Big V. Sometimes they just fall in your lap. Sometimes you got to go kind of pick them up and cherry pick them and be like, okay, if this is the 1992's Chronic, we gonna keep it. But like Snoop said, if it ain't none of that, we gonna roll that mug up out of there and we gonna try something else. But Big V, I was getting ready to throw it out, but then it came back.
Okay.
Oops, Big V, I did it again. Oops, Big V, I did it again. Oops, I want a public apology, Big V. Oops, I did it again. Big V, the What the Hell segment is going to spotlight actually one of my favorite pop singers, man. It's my guilty pleasure. Britney Spears. Man, let me tell you something, man.
Okay.
Let me preface a few things here.
Okay.
I want to be crystal clear. And I know you do your clips. If you do the clip of this, make sure you keep it in there because I don't want no problems with nobody. It is never right for a man to hit a woman. Ever. Right. You got daughters. I got a daughter. That part, I ain't about to make light of, Big V, because that's some serious stuff. I get it. Hey, especially men to women, keep your hands to yourself. Damn near regardless of the situation, unless she's chasing you like she's in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, Big V. That's about the only time I can say you can hit somebody and you're unarmed and she got a chainsaw, she's coming after you. I feel like you got a right to defend yourself. But Big V, they say a little bit different. So TMZ Sports, Big V, the world's most dangerous sports reporting agency known to man. TMZ Sports is reporting as of today's date, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. So this is today, Big B. This is fresh. This is what landed in your boy's lap.
Okay, so what's the date? Let's get this right. So this is July 12th. This is
July the 12th.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
We are reporting live as of 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So basically, this came out 3 hours ago, Big V.
Okay.
Britney Spears ain't done. She said she still want a public apology, Big V. We ain't done. We ain't done by a long shot. So let me skim over this TMZ article real quick. So Britney Spears is still furious with Victor Wembanyama's security, calling the use of physical force in Vegas last week completely unnecessary while demanding that he issue an apology. Okay, all right. I want to hit the Powerball tonight, Big V. Probably ain't gonna happen, but I'm gonna play just to be on the safe side. She opened up in a situation Tuesday, posted to her Instagram, and she actually stated that a local radio host says she deserved to be hit in the face for touching Victor Wembanyama. That I do not agree with. That's what I just prefaced it by, Big V. Those guys are wrong or whoever the host is, male, female, whoever. She didn't name the outlet who said that. She just said it was some radio host. That's wrong. That ain't nah. That's wrong right there, Big V. Let's see. She called out the station for her opinion, explaining that all her years of touring and being around public and rowdy fans, her security team has never taken things that far. And let me stop right there.
Yeah, let's give some backstory about what actually happened.
All right. So for those who don't know, last week, Victor Wembanyama was either leaving or on the way to a restaurant.
Okay.
Part of the details is very unclear. But what we do know is that Britney Spears approached him from behind. And according to her, she tried to tap him on his shoulder. Security saw that, blocked the attempt. While blocking the attempt, per the video, this ain't even allegedly, per the video, her hand went back into her face. So security. So if y'all look at my hand right now, for those in YouTube land, this is Britney Spears. I'm doing this here, and here's the security guard. His hand's going back, and so that's how the contact happened right there. Now, she states that she actually fell to the ground. Now, Big V ain't saying she ain't fall to the ground. I'm just saying in the video clip, I didn't see that she fell back to the ground. So getting back to last week, she stated that she wanted to congratulate him and get an autograph. Which one is true? She's saying that she wanted to congratulate him. Other people are saying she wanted an autograph. Now, this is where I got to get on Miss Britney Spears here. I got to get on that, you know. And so, you know, a quick recap of that. Now, I don't know about you, Big V. When you're in a restaurant, what do you do when you go to a restaurant? I don't want to leave the witness here.
I'm going to eat.
You're going to eat, Big V.
Going to eat.
Big V, when you go to the grocery store, what are you doing when you go to the grocery store?
I'm going to grocery shop.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you these questions here. Do any of these scenarios scream that it's autograph signing time? I don't know. I mean, because I don't know, because I know some people, they have autographic sessions where you go through the proper channels. And this is what I'm getting on Miss Britney for. You know, you got to go through the proper channels. You're not going through the proper channels. You're reaching up on literally the hottest star prospect the NBA has seen since Zion Williamson. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, do I agree that the security should have been that way towards her? You know, I'm going to say no. I'm throwing in the female aspect of it. You know, I don't really, and not sound crazy. From a physical standpoint, I don't really, with the exception of a few. I mean, shout out to 252. I don't pose that. I don't see the physical threat of a woman, whether she's black or white, young or old. I don't see that like I would a guy. Same deal. Young or old, I don't see that threat the same. Now, the security have a job to do. Yeah, they got a job to do. Again, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about you while this man's back is turned, you reach up and touch or attempt to touch. Now, see, that's a problem, Big V. I got to call it how I see it. I feel she's totally wrong for that. That's
Okay.
not the time nor the place for that. And she also stated that I've been on a tour with most famous people in the world in sync at one time. Girls would literally throw themselves at them on my way into the place. Actually, I was knocked down by 2 or 3 12-year-olds trying to get into my picture. My security one time, not one time has ever touched them or came near them. Okay, so Scoop, time out. Okay, stop right there. That is true. I believe that that's true. I don't have any proof, but I know that although Victor Wembanyama is not a hip hop star, I know that hip hop sometimes has security. I do know that sometimes hip hop's security can actually be an agitator for the fan and cause more conflicts, more so than they do not. But again, you got to understand, rappers, hip hop artists, not all, but more so than not in a general context, you know. So you got somebody trying to reach out and touch somebody, I don't know who you are. So security's job is to de-escalate that situation and to make it not appear anymore. Now, again, I just preface this by saying security was wrong before they did it, but 2 things can still be true, Big V. Mm-hmm. Now, again, this was from the back. Pause. Okay, so security is like this. Victor Wembanyama is right here. If I'm security, Big V, all I see is an arm going over my arm to touch the guy that I'm getting paid to protect. So again, they have a job to do. Now, there's levels to everything. Now, I don't know. For all I know, security probably didn't even know that was a woman. They just say, saw hand, SWAT hand. Get it up out of here. It's up out of here. It's gone. Oh, look back. Oh, it's Britney Spears. Dang, man. I ain't know that was you. Like, again, no excuses. I'm trying to paint some pictures here.
Right.
Because here's what I'm saying. Her being an international superstar in Britney Spears, she should know how it is, Big V. That's where I am. That's where now y'all starting to follow where I'm going at. Now, Big V, this isn't some 16-year-old man or woman
right
out and they're slapping the ish out of this 16, 17-year-old, right? Now, again, it's still wrong, but being that Britney Spears have toured with the likes of herself and NSYNC, you could argue the biggest pop group of all time, you know how it is. And look, she's saying that security never got rowdy. Okay, maybe not. Maybe they didn't. If that's what she's saying, then I got to take her at face value, right? But you cannot act like Victor Wembanyama is not already a rock star. So, albeit coaches are different, now he comes from France, still a black man, right? And Britney Spears, how would you feel if somebody try to reach out and grab you while you're trying to go to a restaurant to congratulate you on your success or getting through the issues that you've been having with your estate, your dad, and all that? Oh, well, I just wanted to reach out and you going to eat. That ain't the time. You're either coming from or going in to eat. But we still ain't done, Big Vig. I swear I'm about to wrap up. So to kind of fast forward this a little bit, that same night, security went and apologized to her, right?
Okay.
They went to the table that she was sitting at and apologized to her. But see, Big V, that still ain't enough. She wanted an apology from Victor Wembanyama. Britney Spears. What the hell? I was gonna let it go. I was like, okay, that kind of happened last week. This ain't like, and then she did it again today. What the hell, Britney Spears? I love you, but what the hell, man?
Corey, it's so much wrong with this. First of all, Brittany, you like 4'2", trying to reach on a 7'6" man. What are you talking about? Second of all, you bringing up the I've been around this group and that. Okay, structure stuff. But the more you structure stuff, the more it puts you on the segment. Because what the hell, you seasoned enough to know better. Seasoned enough to know better to be trying to grab a man behind pause, and on top of that, you are seasoned enough to know that is not you are not a 12-year-old girl who don't know no better. You've been around the world. You know what I mean? Like, knock it off. Like,
keep your hands to yourself, Big V.
Trust me, it's a way that you can go about it, being that you are who you are. You can send your people over there. Wait till you see it. Send your people over there. Send your representative over there and talk to his representative and say, "Yo, man, let him know Britney Spears over here want to, send him a glass of champagne or just come over to say hello, whatever may have." You know what I mean? But you're not going to sit here and reach out from behind me. Pause. And again, I'm not even a star, and I don't even want nobody to necessarily do, especially if I'm in that setting, like I'm in a venue, I'm doing my thing, like, yo, like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, wait till I see you, face me, and do that. You know what I mean? Like,
she said that it was really loud, and
okay,
she tried calling his name, and so she tried to tap him on the shoulders. Which again, that is not the point to congratulate anybody or to get an autograph.
No, it's not. It's not.
I'm sorry if you say you
from Britney Spears.
Yeah, if you say you fell to the ground, I got to take what you said. That I wish security wouldn't have been rough with you, but you got to be careful with this, man.
You got to be careful. All kind of stuff is going on these days. You got to be careful.
Yes.
You got to be careful. And I can imagine that the way people are laying off, you're trying to, as a security guard, you're trying to secure your job. No pun intended. You know what I mean? No pun intended, man.
None.
You know, what the hell, Brittany? You know what I mean? Let's move on to the next topic, Corey. You know what I mean? Like,
topic here.
Hey, I thought it was a good topic too, Corey. And I'm gonna explain how I came up with this topic. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody listening, you know what I mean, the Zoners of the Zone Sports Podcast. I want to take us back. Some of y'all might not remember, but I'm looking at the analytics. The listeners are more around our age. You know what I'm saying? They in that 25 to 45 range. So some of y'all gonna catch this pause. You know what I mean? So it's like this, man. I'm going to take y'all back to 1993 to the NBA draft. One of my favorite NBA drafts. You want to know why I was on my favorite, y'all? Because one of my favorite players of all time coming out of college to the NBA and still to this day, my guy Chris Webber was a part of that draft. You know what I mean? Corey, the Golden State Warriors in the first pick, decided to take my guy. You know what I mean? They took my guy. You know what I mean? They took my guy Penny Hardaway. You know what I mean? They took my guy Penny Hardaway. You know what I'm saying? The second pick went to the 76ers.
Yeah.
And they drafted us another 76 guy who didn't pan out so much, you know what I mean, by the name of Sean Bradley. You know what I mean? I think Sean Bradley a couple of years ago got in a bike accident, you know what I mean? So I hope he's recovering well, you know what I mean? And things like that. The third pick, the Orlando Magics. They took Chris Webber, y'all.
Yeah.
Chris Webber.
Gosh.
And this is when Shaquille O'Neal was a part of the Orlando Magics. This is when Latrell Sprewell was on the Golden State Warriors, along with people like Chris Mullin and things like that, right? As soon as the Orlando Magic made their pick, it didn't even last 10 minutes, y'all. They traded Chris Webber to the Golden State Warriors in exchange for Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
My question today, Corey, is this. Was that a smart trade, Corey? I want to know your opinion. Let me know, man. Was that a smart trade in your opinion? Looking back on it and everything, you know what I mean? Was it a smart trade?
Man, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
For one reason and one reason only.
Okay.
Shaq wasn't on board with Chris Webber. I saw the documentary on this and I read about this a little bit before we went on.
What documentary was that?
This was a ESPN 30 for 30.
Okay.
And it was spotlighting the Orlando Magic of what could have been with Shaq and Penny Hardaway and how Shaq kind of felt like he gave up a bit too early on Penny Hardaway and how Penny Hardaway was really the Kobe before Kobe at that time or whatnot. And so I think that Orlando first of all due respect, it's Orlando. So they're not Miami. It ain't like Miami. It's not like the Lakers. It's not like Chicago or any other type of place. Getting a star like Shaquille O'Neal at that time, and really, period, you do have to keep him happy.
Yes.
And in that documentary, even in this document that I'm reading now on ballerslife.com, where Shaq went to the powers that he went to him before the draft and told him who he wanted. And he wanted Penny Hardaway. And Orlando was like, yeah. I mean, nobody tells us what to do. You know what I'm saying? It's long story short. And, they made the draft. And then, like you said, less than 10 minutes later, Shaquille called management furious. Now, I don't know if he threatened to sit out or not play or anything like that. They never got into what that phone call was about. But what I do know is that after Shaquille O'Neal called management furious and all that stuff, the trade got made. And luckily it was able to get traded. So from keeping Shaq, nothing matters without Shaq in Orlando. Even though Penny Hardaway was clearly the two guy, nothing happens without that. Now keeping your superstar happy, I would have loved to have seen Chris Webber and Shaq do work. And I think hindsight is 2020 because if I'm not mistaken, Penny Hardaway started having some injuries, down the line, to where Shaq was kind of a bit impatient with that. And hindsight is 2020. I just said that. So, but I think that it's not like it's a Miami. It's not like it's a Chicago. It's not like it's a Lakers where you're going to get stars in free agency. Yeah. You're only going to get a player like Shaq or Penny, for that matter, in the draft. And I just think that Orlando's back was against the wall, and I think it really worked out. I was on like real quick without me blabbering too much. So I grew up a diehard Charlotte Hornets fan. I only quit being a Charlotte Hornets fan when they moved to New Orleans. And North Carolina, where we're from, was without an NBA basketball team for about 3-4 years, give or take, maybe 3.5. And then when they came back as the Bobcats was never, shout out to Bob Johnson, it never got off the ground. It didn't have a nostalgia, no Hornet logo, because that's in New Orleans. I'm like, well, dang, am I going to be a New Orleans fan? It's like, you got some teams, Big V, you're a fan of no matter what because they brought you in. And then sometimes you're just a fan of a team because of your local proximity, whether they represent your city and or state or either one. Right. And so I was a Charlotte Hornet fan because they represented North Carolina. So when they moved to New Orleans, I tried. It just, man, so long story short, I was more so following individual players. And so when Shaq got there, I'm like, yo, oh, snap. I thought I was an Orlando fan, but in essence, I was a Shaq fan. And when you had Shaq, Penny Hardaway, they got Horace Grant, like they had some pieces. Dennis Scott, Big V. I mean, I was like, yo, this Orlando thing, I could dig it. But then Big Shaq moved to LA, and I was like, dang, now I'm watching more LA games. I ain't really watching Orlando like that anymore. I didn't become a diehard Lakers fan to probably their second championship together with Kobe and Shaq. So that puts it like right around that 99, 2000. That's when I became a diehard Lakers fan. Now, I still root for the Hornets, but not over the Lakers. So I think Orlando had to do what they had to do, Big B. I do. They had to get paid. They had to trade. What say you?
Corey, I'm glad you brought up the rosters that year. I want to read out some of the rosters, some of the pieces that were here. This is for the Golden State Warriors in 1993. Okay. And again, I want to read this with y'all keeping in mind. They traded Penny Hardaway. Okay. I want to go down to because Penny Hardaway played point guard, right? Okay.
Yes.
So I'm gonna read the point guards for that year on 93, okay?
Oh, okay.
In 93 for the Warriors. Dale Demps, Keith Jennings, Avery Johnson.
Okay.
Corey, who the fuck is Dale Demps? Corey.
I was missing something like, man, I feel like I should know that name, but
Corey, Corey, who the fuck is Keith Jennings?
Never heard of him.
I know who Avery Johnson is.
I know who Avery Johnson is. Salute to Avery.
Corey, I want to also read off the Orlando Magic squad, their roster in '93. Real quick. Just for clarity, I want to read off the point guards. Their point guards were Lateral Green and Scott Skiles.
Scott Skiles, remember him?
Definitely. Scott Skiles was solid.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to read off their power forwards, which is really the position that Chris was playing, right?
Yeah.
Anthony Avent, Anthony Cook, Larry Kristiawiak,
Yeah. Yeah.
Lorenzo Williams. Corey. But I also want to read off their shooting guards. Nick Anderson,
Okay.
Anthony Bowie, and Todd Lichty. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Corey, listen, man. These is one of the worst two rosters ever in NBA history. I'm just gonna be real with you, Corey.
Yeah.
One of the worst two rosters in NBA history.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a side of who really lost in this show, Corey, I would have to say I would have loved to seen the Shaq with Chris Webber, man. I just would have. Because let's put this in perspective. We talking about Shaq, Chris Webber, well, my man Anderson, Dennis Anderson.
Nick
Anderson was over there.
Anderson, you had and Dennis Scott 3D.
Yeah, my bad. I mixed two players together. Pardon me. So we had, and then with Scott Skiles, they could have did something with that. I feel way more than that roster I just read. If Penny Hardaway would have stayed on the Warriors, Corey, he would have been left to die like players to go to Detroit now.
Yeah.
If that would have happened.
You're right.
I think it worked out how it needed to work out, being that both of the squads were evenly suckish. Pause.
Yeah.
Like, Corey, I was looking at this roster and no wonder that they had the first and third pick. Like, they were horrible.
It was shitty, bro.
Like, Corey, nobody on this roster stands out to whether you plug and play. Either guy really lights a fire up under you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go what I can call it, and I think it both worked out how it needed to work out. Chris Webber went on to be Rookie of the Year that year, had a fantastic season with the Golden State Warriors. Penny Hardaway went on to do legendary things with not only the Orlando Magic, but with the Phoenix and the New York Knicks. You know what I mean? And he's now coaching over there in Memphis, doing his thing. Shout out to both of those guys, man. Yeah. Shout out to both of those guys. Salute. I'm a fan of both. You know what I mean? I stay rocking some Penny Hardaway sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Still trying to get my hand on Chris Webber up tempos, but I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. Corey, you know what else I'm going to get, Paul?
This is great. This is great.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will be going to get in September the new NBA 2K24, ladies and gentlemen. It was just announced the other day that Kobe Bryant will be on the cover. Yes, legendary Kobe Bryant, the late great. We still missing and loving you. Yes. Corey, let me tell you, man, I was ecstatic when I heard this. Shout out to my guy Alvo Kid. He called this months ago. He said, "Yo, V, they have to put my guy on the cover. I know he's been on at least two before. I know he has to be on the cover this time. He has to be. It is the 25th anniversary of NBA 2K. Yeah. You know what I mean? And for those that don't know, also August is sometime in August. Don't know that exact date. I think it's Mamba Day in August, if I'm not mistaken. 8/24.
August 24.
Yep, Mamba Day. You know what I mean? So the following month, you know what I mean, 2K will be releasing an edition with Kobe Bryant on the cover. They also have some other covers as well. You know what I mean? But today we are going to be talking about how Kobe Bean Bryant will be gracing the cover of NBA 2K24. Corey, this is it's so necessary. You know what I mean? You cannot. Who else would they put on NBA 2K24 but Kobe, who wore the number 24? You know what I mean?
There it is.
That's it. There it is. Nothing, dead or alive, he was destined to be on this cover. Have to be. And Corey, let me fill you in, and also the people in. Pause. Listen, I just got word. Okay, if you played the game like last year, they had the Michael Jordan moments where you got to play the Michael Jordan challenges and things like that of certain highlights in his career. You played some of the games like North Carolina. You know what I mean? You just went down the line and played some of his greatest games. They did the same thing with 2K in either 11 when he was on the cover, I think it was, or 13. Correct me if I'm wrong. One of those started out, which started this whole thing with the challenges, where they had the Jordan challenges and all that back then. This was on the PS3. Now with the PS5, we are fast forwarding to 2K24, Corey. They are going to be having what they are deeming Mamba moments. They have not listed what the Mamba moments would be, but Corey, I want to talk about some of my great and most memorable Mamba moments that I would love to them to implement in the game. Corey, I hope they have the Portland moment in there. I hope they gotta have the Portland game where he hits the shot, smothered in defense, banks it in, game goes in OT. I think Shaq might have fouled out that game, you know what I mean, if I'm mistaken. But it's also, I think it's the game where he throws a crazy lob to Shaq, if I'm not mistaken, you know what I mean? Either way, I love it because he had Scotty on skates out there. He had Scotty looking crazy. He had Scotty hating ass looking crazy, you know what I'm saying? And I love that game. I love it. I love that game. Corey, I also hope they have it where, and I don't know how they can do this, because most of the time they have games that you play as the moments and the challenges. Corey, I would love for them to implement when he won the dunk contest. That would be awesome. That would be never done before, and I would love for them to do that. You know what I mean? Because 2K has this thing where they know how to do it just right, pause, because they're doing it just right with the wrestling 2K, how they had the Rey Mysterio moments on 2K22, and now this time they have the John Cena moments. So I'm hoping they can really amp it up and do it right. You know what I mean? My last moment I would love to see, of course, I got so many, but we don't have that much time. I would love to see maybe they do the 81-point challenge. You know, if not the 81-point challenge, they got to do the game. They got to do the finals against the Celtics, Corey. They got to do it. They got to do it. They got to do it. You know what I mean? It's.
Can I add one? Can I add one?
I want to hear some of something that you may be looking forward to that they maybe can implement.
First of all, I don't get like the 2Ks, whether it's WWE or Madden or the 2K. I don't get them every year. I get them about every 3 or 4 years.
Right.
The last one that I got, if I'm not mistaken, is like 2018, 2019. So I'm definitely due for another one.
You do for this one.
I'm and nothing else, just for the collector's edition.
You got to.
Like, this is great. Real quick, I want to see, and I'm about with you, like on a dunk contest. I don't know how they could do it, but the 2K guys, they figure this stuff out for a living. I would love to see if we could do that last game that he ever played with Utah where he got 60.
Of course.
And granted, I know there was force feeding on the ball. I get all that.
Still.
But at his age, given the injuries that he had, to still go out and get 60, and we still won that night, even though we didn't get the playoffs that year. Man, I stayed up to about 3 o'clock in the morning watching the press conference, man. Had to go to work at 8 o'clock, and I could give a damn. I mean, I got to figure out how to get that in. I don't know how. I cannot wait for this game to come.
Yes. And you know, Corey, what's special about that game is Shaq said, in his words, he said, I bet the motherfucker that he couldn't get 50. The motherfucker got 60. So what Shaq said. That has to be the last game. It has to be. It's so many more. They could put the amnesty game where Mark Cuban was saying the Lakers need to amnesty his contract and was all on Twitter. And then Kobe went out there, went crazy, and then went on Twitter and said, now amnesty that. You know what I mean? Man, it's so
Kobe was that dude, yo.
man, it's so core. It's so many. It's just so
It is.
you know, they could really implement the All-Star game where he plays Jordan too. That would be
Yeah,
crazy. Like
man. There's a whole bunch of ways that they could go with this game.
even the game where he's even I really want to do something too in his early years where he wasn't as good and he was riding the bench. So make it I got to come off the bench and shoot those air balls perhaps. You know what I mean? Because you know, like really take it back to the essence of Kobe, man. It's so many you could do it. The San Antonio games. It's so many, man. It's so many memorable moments, man. Kobe.
He was our Michael Jordan, dog.
Yeah. Well. We saw Jordan, so I don't want to say that.
Yeah,
because we saw Jordan, and Jordan is my Jordan. You know what I mean?
That reminded me so much.
He did. Hey, look, you know what?
I always wish Jordan could have played for the Lakers.
He was our Jordan after Jordan because we said we'll never see that again.
Nah, you won't.
And then
sure Kobe ain't come close, but I'll tell you that right now.
He's the only one to ever be that close. I'm talking about mimicking him line for line, press conference.
Always sounded like him.
Even when he won, he threw up the fist like MJ. Yeah. The back down, the chunk.
One ring short.
Switching the numbers.
Yeah.
He was MJ, bro. MJ in the flesh. He was a killer like MJ. You know what I mean?
He was.
He was a killer. He was a killer. We ain't seen nothing like it. Kobe, we miss you, man. We miss you.
Yes, sir.
We miss you, man. Yep. We will definitely be picking up that 2K in September. I can't wait to get my hands on it, man.
Yes,
you know
sir.
What I mean? Shout out to everybody in the zone land. The zoners out there that be tapping in, you know what I mean, through the YouTube network, whether it be YouTube, the Twitter, you know what I mean, catching the clips on Instagram and the store. However you watching the Zone Sports Podcast, me and my guy appreciate you. You know what I mean?
Word up. Right back at you, fella.
You know what I mean? Corey, you know, I appreciate you. You know what I mean? I'm going to see you next week so we can talk more sports talk. You know what I mean?
Do it.
But until the next time, y'all know how we end this thing, right? Hey.